morning. Good morning, Pranam. Thought I'd just jump on really quick, just a really short session this morning, help us all wake up. And again, my favourite book, Asana Pranayama Mudra Bandha. Wonderful book, love it. It's one of my favourites. I'm just going to draw from that again this morning. So there's this Pawanmuktasana, which means releasing the energy. And there's 3 different series, and the one that I'm going to focus on this morning is the digestive and abdominal group. So this is going to help build core strength, also the digestive system, the biggest internal organ of the immune system is the gut. So we're going to just balance out the digestion, balance out the immune system, maybe help just to keep our resistance high against these illnesses. I'm not going to mention any illnesses by name. But the other thing with the, working the navel chakra is that, it kind of helps us to stay healthy mentally as well. So it helps us just not to get so drawn into drama, unnecessarily, and just maybe keeps us quite, strong and when we're maybe stuck in a bubble or something, it just helps us to have a sense of identity and balance out any fluctuation. So if you have like mood swings or anything like that, coming into the center is quite helpful. So I'm going to just pick some of them and change the order a little bit and maybe modify a little bit just to make it a bit more accessible. So we'll just go straight into this, and I'm just going to do some lying down cycling, alternating the legs. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate like this and sideways. So just stretch out across the floor, lie down, and just get yourself comfortable. Bend the knees, just rest down. Take the hands on the belly. We'll just have a few breaths here just to tune in, connect to the body, connect to the natural breath. And you can stay here longer. I'm just going to get on with it because I'm aware of time. So just begin with the right leg. So inhale in position. Exhale, bring the right knee to the chest, give it a hug. And inhale, straighten it back out. So straighten it up and down. Exhale, left knee, hug. Inhale, straighten the leg up and lower it down gently. So the main thing here is that you're connecting to the spine. I'm going to risk taking the jump off. It's freezing in here. So we don't want to be lifting up the arch in the back. This has to be connected, core switched on. If you find that you're moving and you find that this, well, thanks Louie, that was perfect timing. Jeez. So if you find something like this happening, so you've lost that core connection, you can bend the knee a little bit. Just bend it to whatever extent you need to. So that's exhale. Inhale. Just check the shoulders aren't creeping into it as well. That can happen. Just stretching the hips here. We'll do one more on each side. And maybe hold the stretch a bit more. Just take an extra breath if you're holding the stretch. And then when you inhale, back nice and flat. And then just shake out the shoulders, take the legs up, maybe go side to side. Let's take maybe 5 to 10 breaths, just rest down in between before we begin the next posture. And When you're ready, what we're going to do, just taking one leg up and down, same leg, 5, 10 times, something like that. So with the legs straight, yeah. So this is quite intense. Might be too much to do that and keep the back straight and not feel any tension or pressure. So there's a couple of ways of modifying that. If you want, you can just bend the knees. You can bend them as much as you want. Just bend them how much you need to. And just keep that leg. Straighten it up at the top if you want, and then bend it and come back down. Or the other thing you could do is just bend one knee, so the leg that you're not working, if you bend that leg, it gives you something else to push down into. We're just taking one leg up and down. So we're going to inhale, we're going to hold the breath and hold the position. But don't hold your breath if you're not comfortable with that. Again, making sure that the shoulders aren't just coming into it unconsciously. You can either push the shoulders down into the mat, push them down into, down away from the ears. Or if you want, you can just take the hands up here, push the elbows down, and just, it sounds daft, but if you bring some energy into the shoulders, then it just can help to balance out what's happening in the lower body. I'm going to do one more with the breathing because I've been talking. Trying to synchronize the movements with your natural breath. And then just come up with your legs, a little shake out, do what you need to do here. At all to release that thigh muscle. Quick. We're going to do the other side. Again, remember your different options. You can bend the leg and the whole movement. You can bend the supporting leg. Just rest the foot down. So you've got a few options. So always slow down the movement rather than speeding up the breath. And then just come down, rest, shake out the legs. What we need to do, thigh, strong. Let's take 5 to 10 really good, slow, deep breaths on the floor in between just to release. So if you're having back issues and you want to bend your knees, take the feet wide and drop the knees in towards each other. So there's no tension in the hips and in the groins. Stay on the floor, resting, take a few more breaths. So I'm just going to do cycling with both legs at once, so a bit more intense. Just kind of building up the intensities. But the important thing with all of these is that this back of the waist isn't arching up off the back. It's an indication that you've lost that core. Good boys moving so I can show you. Right, so cycling with both legs again, a little bit more intense. So if you want to start the position from here, push the back of the waist down into the floor. Exhale the knees up, give them a hug. Inhale up and lower. So when you're lowering, this is when it's likely that the back of the waist might come up off the floor. And at that point, that's when you want to just maybe bend the knees. So it could be something more like this. Thanks, Lily. I love you too. Yeah, I love you too. Or you might manage to just do the full thing. Exhale. Inhale. Staying flat. And what again I found that really helpful just to bring a bit of tension into the shoulder, not tension into the shoulders, but kind of just switching on and bringing energy in, kind of actively switching on the shoulders rather than allowing them just to kind of tense up, because you might feel that when you start to get to the point of tension and gripping and working really hard, that's when this kind of thing happens. I mean, clenching and gripping, we don't want that at all. So I usually work like this. You can push the elbows down, or you could even lift up, lifting up the upper body. Just make sure the shoulders aren't shrugging up to the ears. Take a breath at the end. You could do this in 4-part breathing if you want. You can start to inhale and lift. Exhale and hug. Inhale straight. And exhale lower. There's lots of different ways of doing this. Remember, you've got your knees bent. You can do it. Option, bend the knees before you take them down. Bend them as much as you need to make sure that the back of the waist isn't lifting up. I'll do 2 more. And relax, just come down, give your knees a hug, and start moving side to side. And just take your time, release the tension. And you want to go side to side, just passing the knees across from one arm to the other. Really, what's wrong with you this morning? Who's acting crazy? What are you saying? So if you're doing this, maybe inhale to the center, exhale to the side, make sure the shoulders are relaxed. Thank you. And then we're going to do just rolling side to side, okay? So just give the knees a hug. And literally, I'm just going to roll over to the side, the whole body to the side. And then use that elbow just to push yourself a little bit up and over to the other side. The way I'm moving side to side, okay? Be clever. So really grounding down into the whole back. And all these deep core muscles just switching on. Just breathe naturally. Thank you. That was lovely. Try not to use the arms too much. Try and get into using the deep abdominal strength, pushing down into the floor. Pushing back down. And come back up. Slow and push yourself up. I'm checking the time. Oh, I think that's enough. Right, that's enough of that. I'll do let's do, oh, should we do? All right, let's just do taking the legs wide. So just let's open up first. So just get used to that stretch. This is like a warm-up stretch for the hips, the inner thighs. So if you feel that you'd rather do, maybe one leg at a time, take the knee bent in and just do one leg at a time, just to open up. And then we're trying not to take the legs right out as far as we can. Just keep them maybe in a little bit. Pull the flesh away from the sit bones. We're just going to windmill round. So we're going to take the arms out. Inhale. And exhale. With control, using the core to move your left hand to the right foot and the right hand back. Inhale. Just keep the arms about chest or shoulder height. Exhale, windmill down. This exercise is actually from a different series. It's from the third series of Pawanmuktasana, which is for the energy, it's energizing, but we're really kind of massaging the abdominal region here. Everything moving, everything balanced. I'm glad you can't see what I can see. Very nice. It's not a pleasant view. Far too early in the morning. You can start to intensify. And feel that massaging the abdominal region, the internal organs. And I'll finish up on the other side just to keep it all nice and even. And then just take a big stretch. And I'll leave you here. Just a really short, early in the morning. If you've got time to do much more than this, if you've got to go out somewhere. So I'll leave you here. Obviously, if you want to, you can lie down and do your shavasana, take a relaxation, or you could do some sort of meditation or anything, or you could just go leave it at that. Okay, so thank you for watching. Stay safe. Namaste, and I'll see you soon. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye. See ya.